Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Kmu Pod live podcast with me, Ricky Chabruggy, coming to you from Salina, Kansas. And joining me down there in the southwest corner of the state is Derek Relaford. How you doing, Derek?
Pretty good. In a town called Hugoton.
Hugoton. I couldn't remember where you said.
It used to be like the biggest gas pocket in the world back in, I don't know,
Oh,
the
wow.
early 1900s. Halliburton was here for a long time. It's a nice little town, about 3,300 people, so not too bad. We like it quite a bit.
Yep. Cool.
We dig it. You have
Mm-hmm.
some explaining to do before we get the show started tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of go back, and I've been kind of waiting on definitives before I really got into anything, but this all started a couple months ago or so. Went in for my normal 6-month checkup with my doctor, and he decided I needed to do an echocardiogram to make sure everything was sound with my heart. And did that. And then come back that I had a leaky heart valve, or an aortic valve was leaky. And so he wanted to go ahead and follow up with a cardiac MRI. Eventually got that scheduled. And then it was canceled by the hospital because the room was closed, which I still don't understand, but that's what their voicemail said. I still have it on my phone. But finally got scheduled, got that done. Results of that MRI was that I had a small aneurysm on, or have a small aneurysm on my aorta. And so they decided I needed to see a surgeon. So went ahead and done that. But before I saw the surgeon, I had to do a CT scan on my chest, which was last Friday. And then I saw the surgeon a couple of days ago, and I decided after I did the CT scan, and before I talked to the surgeon, I was, depending on the results of talking to the surgeon, I was going to go ahead and launch a GoFundMe in case I did have to have surgery. That way, get some money built up. So when I have to take time off, or if I have to take time off, then I would have it set back to where I'd be able to cover bills and rent and food and all that kind of stuff while I'm recuperating. So I talked to the surgeon on, actually, I talked to two surgeons on Wednesday, and they informed me that I'm going to have open heart surgery. They're going to go in, and to take care of the aneurysm, they're going to put a metal valve in, and then they're going to repair they call them aortic leaflets. They're three little tabs. Everybody has them in their aortic valve that open and close after every beat. Excuse me, to keep blood from leaking back into the aorta. So they're going to repair those. And they said something about possibly happening to repair my aortic root, which I don't know exactly what that is. He explained it all, and I asked questions, but he was, giving me so much information I couldn't absorb it all. So I decided after I got done there talking to the surgeon and knowing that surgery is a definite, it's on October 2nd, that I went ahead and launched the GoFundMe 2 days ago, 2 nights ago. And I put a post up on the Kansas Missing and Unsolved page. And for some darn reason, when you go to that post and you click on it, it tries to send me a message, and I don't know why.
I
So I
can
put
help
the link.
you fix that, yeah.
Well, I put the link for the GoFundMe in the comments too. So, um, yeah, the GoFundMe link is in the comments to the GoFundMe post, and I also have it on my personal Facebook, and that link works just fine on there. I don't know why the
Yeah.
page has got to be such a pain, but
I can help you with
anywho,
that. It's just a button. After the show this weekend, I can help you fix that.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
thank you. I am going to look into disability. I'm not sure how that's going to work because my older daughter that lives with me that's intellectually disabled, she draws disability, and had to call on her disability because they're trying to make sure she still qualifies as being disabled, being an adult, which she's still intellectually disabled. That doesn't change over just because you get to be an adult. But when they did her disability reevaluation, they only did her physical part, not an intellectual part, and they deemed that she wasn't disabled physically. And it's like, well, that's not what she's disabled for. So I'm fighting with that. But anyway, called disability to talk to him about that, and had to sit there and listen to all their little messages that they play while you're waiting on hold for somebody to decide to pick up. And it's saying any new disability claims can take up to 240 days to process. And I'm like, that's not going to do me any good because by the time that processes, I'll already be back to work. So for me, the best option for right now is the GoFundMe. But I am going to go ahead and go down to the Social Security office. Over here is not too far from where I live. I'm going to talk to them and see if maybe they know something I don't about speeding up the process or something. But for now, the GoFundMe is my best option, and it's for only being up a couple of days. It's actually doing pretty well. Whoa! Last I looked, it was only $8.65. It jumped another
Yeah.
$100 and some since. Wow.
Yep. So I shared it. Me and Stephanie did a live the other night on
Yes, you
in the
did.
free zone with Norm on Thursday. He talked about you for a little while. He's, the good thing is I don't think anybody's worried about you. We think that because like you and I had talked. You and Norm and my wife Stephanie, you all have dads that passed on early from heart issues.
Yeah, my dad
Um,
was 39 when he died.
and Stephanie's dad was 49. I think Norm's dad was like 56, which is all just young. And but I think that in modern day, like it's pretty. They do this a lot. There's so much more technology involved with everything. So like I'm like a firm believer that you're gonna be just fine. It's not gonna be easy or anything. You're getting ready to get open heart surgery. It's a thing. Obviously, we can worry a little bit, but really I think the biggest worry here is, kind of what me and Steph and me and Norm talked about. Like you just said, you're gonna be down for the count, and you're somebody who has a lot of people that rely on you financially.
Yeah,
So if you're unable to go to your job, that's obviously going to be an issue. I just went ahead and threw a few bucks in there just now before I shared it.
I saw that.
Anybody
Thank you.
watching this now or the replay, uh, just if you could help Ricky out, and me and Steph and Norm and some other people, we're going to make sure the shows are on every week if Ricky's not able to make it while he's in recovery. The
Yeah,
podcast is going nowhere. We even talked about maybe helping him with his flyers while he's down and out. We can all try to help because me and Steph do
right,
do artwork and stuff on computers and
right,
stuff. So
right.
Kansas Missing Us All is not going anywhere, but Ricky is in need for what does it say, Derek? Why does it say next week? What?
Because your scroller says the open heart surgery is next week. It's not next week. It's October
Oh, 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 oh,
October
oh.
2nd. It's October
October.
2nd.
I
Yeah,
think I think Norm had thought it was going to be okay. I'll change that.
yeah. And before the surgery, I have to go have a heart cath done. I have to take that day off and the following day off because it's a sedated procedure. And then after that, I have to have a carotid artery test done to make sure there's no blockages in my carotid arteries. Then the day before surgery, I have to go to the hospital for a consultation with the anesthesiologist, do some blood work so that then I don't have to do it all the day
Yeah,
of surgery. And he said meet with some other folks, not sure who. And then of course October 2nd will be surgery. I got to be there at 5:30 in the morning. Surgery is at 7:30 in the morning. He said it's going to be about a 6-hour surgery. And the part that freaked me out was when he said, "Yeah, we'll have you hooked up to machines to keep your body functions going because we're going to have to stop your heart to fix it." And I'm like, "Oh," which I guess I should have figured that out on my own, but I didn't even think about that. But so
yeah,
yeah, and then he said I'll be in ICU for probably up to a week, and then probably at home recuperating, doing physical therapy and that kind of thing for probably 2 months before I can go back to work. And then I talked to my job yesterday, and they told me that they have rules, and even though my doctor said that I can come back to work like with a 15-pound limit, and after a couple of weeks, 25-pound limit, they said that they have their own rules, and I can't come back until I can hit whatever limit they want me to hit. So I don't know. And another comment I saw on my GoFundMe post on KMU is somebody said, "What about short-term disability through my job?" My job does not do that.
yeah,
They do the FMLA part, but they do not do short-term disability. So that
yeah.
wasn't an option either. So I'm
And I don't
trying.
think, not to get political, but I don't think it matters what color you vote for. I think everybody would agree that this is an amazing country. I love this country, but when it comes to medical debt, it's scary. That's bipartisan. It's very expensive and it takes a long time, and it's very scary financially. Anytime somebody has any kind of medical issue, you know.
Oh yeah.
And
And my daughter is saying against everyone is wishing luck and prayers for my dad. I appreciate you so much. And that's from my younger daughter. she's pretty scared right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not, because I am, but I've been telling everybody, I said, well, I'm putting my faith in God and my trust in the surgeons. So
Yeah.
that's the best that I can do. Put all my faith in God and faith that He's got the surgeon's hands while they're doing the surgery, and I trust that the surgeons will get it done. The one surgeon, I didn't ask the second surgeon, but the first surgeon I talked to, I asked him how long he'd been doing these kind of surgeries, and he said about 16 years.
Yeah.
And the other guy's older than him, so
Yeah.
I'm sure he's done a few more. So that in itself makes me feel pretty comfortable.
I kind of have a dark, uh, you know, disposition. I think it's good that not everybody has like the same thought process as I have. But like one way I kind of look at it too, like most people who do a Facebook page or a live stream, like they want to have like, they're like a comedian, or it's very much about like, oh, I want to do this. But like this show, your passion that you do your Facebook page, I know that we enjoy it. I know that like you love doing your page, but it's something that doesn't pay you or anything. Like these are both what you call passion projects. They're not passion. Oh yeah, passion projects. They're not vanity projects.
Right.
Um, so considering that like your hobby is finding missing people and trying to solve unsolved crimes, and like nobody, to me, it's like I feel like my point is, I don't think either one of you or me, are lucky enough to pass away. I think that the Lord has a lot more crap for us to do, like a lot of tedious things that still need to be done and tucked away before we're done here. So, like, yeah, I get it, but I am a firm believer that you're going to be fine. We just got to get you some donations so you can get through this period, and then as soon as you're feeling up to it, back to work, Ricky. Back to
Yeah.
work.
Right. And after the surgery's done and I'm able to do it, I'll update you guys what's going on and stuff. So
Yeah.
see what happens there.
Yeah. Well, we will go ahead and get into some flyers, and I'm going to keep an eye on your page here. If you get any donations throughout the show, I will shout them out and give the person that donated a shout out.
What did your screenshot say it was?
980.
980?
Yeah, you're at
Because
980.
I just looked it up, and on mine end it says 955. Maybe something hasn't caught up yet.
That's probably what it is. And I thought it said 980 before I donated, and I put 25. I thought I was going to put. You might be over 1,000. I think PayPal kind of does take a little bit of time to catch up. But you're watching Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in 9 seconds, and we're going to cover some cases.
All right. I was looking at my phone for a minute. Sorry about that. All right, here. I gotta find Lori. Where are you hiding at my list, Lori? There you are. An unsolved homicide, Lori Heimer, June 25th, 2016, out in Assyria, which is here in Saline County. Lori was stabbed to death in her rural Assyria, Kansas home on June 25th, 2016. Lori ran her business, Lori's Poodle Patch, from her home. Lori was a licensed breeder of miniature-sized poodles and was licensed through the state of Kansas. KBI was contacted to assist Saline County Sheriff's Office in the investigation. They responded with agents and their crime scene response team. During the investigation, 2 vehicles of interest were developed. Vehicle 1 was said to be an older flatbed pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet, which is described as beat up, maroon in color, with a white front bumper, silver grille, and wide-style side mirrors. The driver is described as a man who was 50 years of age or older with salt and pepper hair. Vehicle number 2 was an older style small pickup truck, possibly a Chevrolet S10, with a 2-tone paint job, dark blue on the bottom and the top, with a light blue stripe down the middle, or middle down, section down the middle. It's pretty wide. A silverback bumper and a newer blue tailgate that appeared to have minimal damage when compared to the body of the truck. The remainder of the vehicle is described as beat up and scratched up. There may have been 2 animal cages or crates in the back. The driver of the second vehicle was described as a white male, approximately 40 years of age, with shoulder-length hair and wearing glasses. Investigators have said they would like to locate these 2 vehicles. They would also like to speak to anyone that had any contact or a business appointment with Lori at any time between June 20th and 25th, 2016. If you have any information regarding the homicide of Lori Heimer, please call the Saline County Sheriff's Office at 785-826-6500 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. And there is a reward of $37,500 being offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Lori's murder. So you have any information at all, get it called in, or you can go to SA Tips at Crimes 274-637 and submit information that way. Just get it in there, no matter how small you think it might be. Get it in and let the police department determine whether they need it or not, or whether it's important or not. So we can do to help generate information in her case.
Do you know if that 37, like, I'm sure it's from multiple sources, is the family mostly like providing that reward money?
It's my understanding that it's family. I know they did a lot of fundraisers. I was at a couple of their fundraisers. It's actually the first time I'd ever set up a Kansas Missing and Unsolved table, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. See what we can do to help get some information generated for that.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that would, like, $37,000 is a lot of money. And if somebody, like, whoever did it, they better not have told very many people, because that's enough money to roll the dice on. You know what? I'm gonna call Crime Stoppers. You know, like that.
Right.
I need some new stuff on my house. You know.
Yeah. And this is Haley Davis. Another missing person here from Salina, Kansas since July 21st, 2023. 19 when she went missing. She's now 21. 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. She left Salina, Kansas with a male acquaintance to go to Wichita, Kansas. She was last active on her social media and last heard from July 21st. Wichita police say the investigation has led them to believe that Haley may be deceased. And when she went missing, she was 19. She's now 21. 5'6" to 5'7", weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde. She has blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance, you know her whereabouts or the location of her remains, please call Detective Owen at 316-268-4185, or you can email at aowen@wichita.gov to remain anonymous, and call Crime Stoppers at 316-267-2111, or the KBI at 785-296-4017, or 1-800-572-7463. Or you can scan that Crime Stoppers QR code and the Crime Stoppers banner there, and it'll take you to a form on their Crime Stoppers website that you can fill out and submit information that way as well. So if you have anything on Haley, please get it sent in as soon as you can. And I do want to scroll back up in the comments because I saw a comment that caught my eye. Keely Walker says, please share my uncle's case. Who is your uncle, Keely? Let me know and I will get it on here.
Shout out to Ellen Dotson. Esther Unruh's in the house. Double T is officially in the building. Real quick, I do want to shout out here in the comment section, Muddy Water Search and Recovery. That's obviously the Facebook page. If you're watching on Facebook, click on that, click follow, click subscribe. Also on YouTube, same name. Follow them, subscribe to them, check out some of their content. I found out about Muddy Waters because of co-hosting with Ricky over the last 5 years. I subscribed to him a while back, and I don't ever get their live videos because I don't really watch. I watch YouTube pretty much only in the middle of the night, usually most of the time. Like I watch it like at night a lot. I do go to their page and watch the live streams they do and then the content they upload. Muddy Water Search and Recovery, awesome page, awesome channel. Check them out, subscribe to them, and Queenie is here as well.
Awesome.
Darren Walker is what Keely said.
Yeah, I'm looking for his flyer in my files at the moment. Ah, there it is right there. Okay. Whew. All right. Let me jump over to here. And I will add it into the list real quick here.
Okay, while he's adding that, just wanted to remind anybody that's just tuning in, at the bottom of the screen here, Ricky will have open heart surgery in October. Me and Norm thought it was next week. Sorry about that. But yeah, October, 980 raised toward a $6,000 goal. Funds will obviously go to help keep him afloat while he's down, for a couple months in recovery. But this case right here, we just cover Haley Davis? We just covered Haley, right?
Yeah, we just covered Haley.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Let me fix our
this
camera.
This is a pretty interesting case, Les Johnson's. As we actually covered him last week, but I wanted to cover him again because I don't think I've ever covered him before, so I want to make sure we get him out there. I'm looking for, there it is. Les Johnson, he's actually from Salina. The reason McPherson County's on there, basically, it was a typical 29-year-old man, Les was. He worked at a construction job in Salina and rode his bike to work every day. On July 23rd, 2001, he rode his bike to work as normal, but never returned home. On a cold January day in 2002, 4 months after he vanished, 2 deer hunters came across some bones in a remote pasture south of Rainbow Road in Marquette. The hunters did not report finding the bones until a few days later when they encountered a human skull in a remote pasture southeast of Marquette, Kansas. The hunters thought they were animal bones, as it's not uncommon to run across animal bones while hunting, until they found the human skull. Another clue to the mystery was Les's bicycle. It was found near a road about a mile west of where his body was found. It's believed that Les was taken to the location, but it's unknown whether he was alive when he was taken to the field. Police do not believe he rode that distance on his bicycle and killed himself. A farmer cutting hay also reported that he saw an out-of-place, dark-colored pickup truck using the unmaintained dead-end road a few days after Les's disappearance. However, he did not report that to police until he saw the media reports of Les's case 4 months later. If you have any information regarding Les's death, please call the McPherson County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-245-1225. Or anonymously, you can call McPherson County, Kansas Crime Stoppers at 1-800-241-8118 or 620-241-1122 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. And see what we can do to help figure out what happened to Les and by whom, and get some justice for him and his family and friends.
And that was 2002?
Yep, that was in 2002.
Okay.
My brother just messaged me another picture of Les. I'll have to get that on my flyer as soon as I can. Thank you, little brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. What is going on with KBI and missing persons on my phone? I don't understand what the heck the deal is.
All right.
Let's see what we can do to get Les's case figured out here. We definitely need to help that out. All right, this is Catherine Adam. Another Salina, Kansas case that I wanted to cover. She's
real quick, Muddy Waters is asking, go ahead, please share Ricky's link. That would be awesome, Muddy Waters, for his GoFundMe. Thank you for doing that. But go ahead, Ricky. Sorry, I just wanted to figure out his comment.
Okay. That's okay. This is Catherine Adam, missing from Salina, Kansas. It's April 29th, 1993. She was 35 when she was missing. She would now be 67. 5'4", 120 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Catherine was last seen at 4:30 in the morning on April 29th, 1993 at the Quick Shop convenience store in the 1700 block of West Crawford in Salina, Kansas. She drove a white full-size Ford van with "She Has Legs" written on the sides in blue lettering. Her van turned up abandoned at 5:45 p.m. the day after Catherine's disappearance at Russell's Restaurant in the 600 block of West Point Boulevard. The restaurant was closed for remodeling at that time, and I did find out through doing some research that the van was parked on the north side of the restaurant, which would have been clear out of view of the truck stop on the south side. So kind of a concealed area back there. The van was spattered with mud on the outside and blood-soaked on the inside. A large amount of blood was also found at a storage unit in southwest Salina, where Catherine, a saleswoman for the Legs Hosiery Company, picked up her stock each day. But there was no sign of her at either place. She's never been heard from again. Police speculate someone attacked Catherine when she went inside the storage unit It appeared that they interrupted her in the process of loading the merchandise in her van, leaving the door of the unit open. Catherine was separated from her husband at that time, and she had a teenage daughter. Her case remains unsolved and foul play is suspected. I do know through reading several articles about Catherine's case that it said that her husband was extensively questioned and cleared as a suspect. So, but if you have any information regarding Catherine's disappearance, or you know her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477. Or you can text SA Tips to Crimes 274-637 or go to www.pd.salina.org and follow the Crime Stoppers link to submit your tip that way. Or you can call KBI at 785-296-4017 or 1-800-572-7463 and see what we can do to get Catherine located and back to her family where she needs to be.
Raynetta is here.
Awesome.
Scott Messerschmidt.
Yep.
Baby Blue Eyes.
Cool. Welcome, everybody. And this is Dietrich Foster, missing from Independence, Kansas since April 12, 2020. 37 when he went missing. He's now 43. He's 5'9", weighs 190 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. Dietrich was reported missing on May 12th. He was last seen around April 12, 2020 in Independence. KBI agents and detectives from the Independence Police Department are conducting his case as a homicide based upon findings during the investigation into Dietrich's disappearance. You know, when he went missing, he was 37. He's now 43. He's 5'9", weighs 190 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. Dietrich has a scar on his chest from heart surgery and a scar on the right side of his nose. He has the following tattoos: a cross on his right forearm, the astrological sign for Gemini on his right arm, 3 dice on his arm, the name Desjardins on his arm, and the word foo on his abdomen. If you have any information regarding Dietrich's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Independence, Kansas Police Department at 620-332-1700 or KBI at 785-296-4017. There is a governor's reward of $5,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for the disappearance and suspected murder of Dietrich Foster. So if anybody has any information at all on his case, no matter how small you might think it might be, get it called in and see if it's something that they might need.
Have you
Anything.
talked to the source from his family recently?
No, I actually have not.
I haven't either.
Yeah. Thank you, Dennis, over there at Muddy Waters, for sharing the GoFundMe link on your platforms as well. Any and all help is greatly appreciated. Yeah, just want to make sure me and my daughter will make it while I'm recouping, because I know I'm going to be doing a lot of physical therapy and stuff like that to get back to work. Crazy thing is, the first surgeon I talked to, he made it sound like almost like a routine everyday surgery. I'm sure he said he's been doing it for 16 years, so he just made it sound so routine. I don't know if that was to kind of put me at ease or what, but we'll see. And Queenie says, I gave yesterday, we'll give more when I get paid again. I love you. Thank you, Queenie. I love you too. Great. Any and all help, man. It's a scary situation though, when they're going into my heart and stopping it and working on it and getting it going again. And I'm just praying for the best. I know, there's always risks involved in any surgery, but I'm praying that this one just goes very well. I really am. Talked to God numerous times over the last couple of days since I found out it was going to be definite. So,
I'm using AI. It says that there's 2 podcasts, Cold Case Kansas and Social Detective, that have episodes about Dietrich. I'm going to check those out.
Yeah, cold case Kansas follows Kansas missing and unsolved too. Don't know about the other one. I'm not sure.
Helen is sharing from Springfield. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellen.
We appreciate that a lot.
No, definitely. All right, this is Kyle Zubler. I checked a little bit ago to see before the show to see if he was still missing, and he is. He's missing from Topeka, Kansas since May 25th or May 15th, excuse me, 2025. He's 25 years old, 5'10", 170 pounds, dirty blonde hair, blue eyes. Last seen walking north on Topeka Boulevard at Topeka Boulevard, Morse, 8:06 p.m. on May 15th, 2025. Seen via surveillance video. His family's asking, and the police department's asking if you have any footage of Caden in the areas of Topeka Boulevard, downtown Topeka, North Topeka, or the Oakland area. Please don't wait for police to request it. To call 911 immediately to report it. Caden is not known to be on any hard drugs. He's not been diagnosed with any mental health illnesses. He's never been violent or aggressive. He's never expressed any thoughts of harming himself. Caden is respectful, polite, and very independent. Caden will respond to his nickname Zoob that can be used to verify his identity. He was last seen wearing a red t-shirt, blue jeans, and red Under Armour shoes, which I have a picture of what the shoes look like up there. The screenshots up there with the red shirt and the blue jeans were taken from surveillance. If you have any information regarding Caden's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And his family is offering a $5,000 cash reward for information leading to his safe return. So if anybody has any information on Caden's disappearance, please call it into the police department and let them go check it out. And Brina Wilson says, late but here. No, better late than never, Brina.
She did it.
And this one is Kyle Neugebauer. It's been a while since we covered him, so I thought he would get him back in there. Missing from Wichita, Kansas since December 17th, 2024. He was 26 when he went missing. He's now 27. 6 foot tall, 155 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Last seen near 143rd and Highway 254 in Wichita. Again, he was 26 when he went missing. He's now 27. 6 foot tall, weighs 155 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. He has a tattoo of the date 11/16/2018 on his inner left forearm, pictured below there. He was last seen wearing a black Carhartt jacket, jogging pants, and tennis shoes. If you have any information regarding Kyle's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181 or 316-268-4111 or KBI at 316-263-6011 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can help get Kyle located and back to where he needs to be.
It's an interesting last name. I like it. Neugebauer.
Neugebauer, yeah.
I like it.
And we've covered him before, but I figured we'd get him in there again because he's hadn't been found yet. This is Kelvin Bullock, missing from Hays, Kansas since June 15th, 2025. He's 61, 5'7", 157 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes. Don't have much more than that, but if you have any information regarding Kelvin's disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call the Hays, Kansas Police Department at 785-625-1030 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can help get Kelvin located and back to where he needs to be. Okay. And this one is Darren Walker. He is missing from Wichita, Kansas since May 20th, 2021. 53 when he was missing. He's actually would now be 58. I need to update that and repost that. 5'11", weighs 175 pounds, blonde and gray hair, blue eyes. Last seen in the area of Central and Waco in Wichita. In the past, he frequented the area of Pawnee and Meridian, also in Wichita. Darren was recently released from the hospital for cancer treatment, which was led to the use of a colostomy bag. He needs continual assistance and medical supplies to treat his recent surgery and is missing under circumstances not conforming to his normal routines or habits. His family is very worried about him. Again, when he went missing, he was 53. He would now be 58. He is 5'11" inches tall, weighs 175 pounds, has blonde and gray hair that is balding on top, and has blue eyes. He has a tiger tattoo on his upper arm. If you have any information regarding Darren's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-263-6011 or call Detective Donnie Moore at 316-268-4114 or Julie at 316-648-4894. And the family of Darren Walker is offering a $1,000 reward for the information leading to Darren's safe return. So let's see what we can do to help them get Darren located and back to where he needs to be. Keely, you're very welcome.
And now we're going to go to another segment. We got about 25 minutes left in the show before we switch segments. So real quick, you see it at the bottom of the screen. If you have it in your heart, please swing by that website there. Give a few bucks to Ricky. He's got a lot going on over this next few months of his life, and we want to help him get through it. You're watching Kansas, Michigan Unsolved. We'll be right back after this.
All right. And this one is Rihanna Greer, missing from Iola, Kansas since July 26, 2025. She's 17, 5 foot tall, 90 pounds, brown hair, green eyes. It's believed that she may still be in the local Iola area or she may be in the Wichita, Kansas area. And she's 17, 5 foot tall, weighs 90 pounds, brown hair, green eyes. If you have any information regarding Rihanna's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Allen County, Kansas 911 Communications Center at 620-365-1437 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. Or you can even call your local law enforcement agency if you see her in your local area as well. So we'll see what we can do to get her located back to where she needs to be. I don't believe we have very many teens this week because I just haven't had a chance to sit down and do too many flyers. I'm going to be doing about 4 of them when we get done with the show. So make up for lost time. And this is Ilea Karath Brownlee. She's a missing endangered runaway, went missing from Wichita, Kansas on August 1st of 2025. She's 14, 5'1", 96 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Last seen in the 7,000 block of East 37th Street North in Wichita. Again, she was 14, 5'1", 96 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Last known to be wearing an orange shirt and black leggings. If you have any information regarding Ilea's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-263-6011 or 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Ilea located and back to where she needs to be.
All right, we got one more segment. I think we got a few more in here, and then we'll probably just go ahead and hang out until the end of the show. Stick with us, share the show, and please visit the link below.
Okay. Yeah, this is Dana Jane Bruce, missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th, 2008. 23 when she was missing. She's now 40, 5'2", 98 pounds, brown hair, green or hazel eyes. Dana was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia. She left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with that man at 11:30 p.m. Police identified the man that Dana was with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Dana after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. Told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush and toothbrush. She does not have any credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. Again, she was 23 when she went missing. She would now be 40. She's 5'2", weighs 98 pounds. She has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots, black at the ends with red highlights, and she has green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced one time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 866-362-6422 or private investigator Leslie at 910-427-0070 and see what we can do to get Dana located and back to where she needs to be. Her family's been looking for quite a long time, 17 years. It's time to get Dana found and brought back home to where she needs to be.
Long time.
Yeah. And this is a case I just happened to run across in my news feed one day and decided I needed to do a flyer for. And this is Janiah Alexis Walker, missing from Milwaukee, Wisconsin since June 23rd, 2022. 15 when she was missing. Should now be 18. 5'1", 101 pounds, black hair with long black braids and brown eyes. Janiah was last seen in the 400 block of West Brown Street near the intersection of East Reservoir Avenue and North Buffalo Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at 2:30 p.m. on June 23rd, 2022. She exchanged text messages with her mother at work that afternoon to inquire about a package she was waiting on. At 3:27 p.m., Janiah tried to call her therapist. Janiah's father was supposed to pick her up at her house at 3:30 or 4 o'clock so she could go apply for a work permit necessary for her to get a summer job. I guess in Wisconsin, if you're 15, you have to have a work permit from the state stating that's signed by both the state and the parent that it's okay for the 15-year-old to work. When he arrived there, she was not home. When both parents tried to call her, both parents' calls went straight to voicemail. That night, Janiah sent her therapist, a text message saying that she was running away from home. Janiah's mother received odd emails sent to an account that only Janiah would know shortly after her disappearance. They were allegedly from Janiah and said she was fine and stopped looking for her. Then they stopped coming. They were routed through a website that makes it impossible to trace the author's location. The sender's email address has since been deleted. The family said that there were security cameras and that Janiah was observed on a Ring camera. She was last seen walking away from her mother's north side apartment. She was wearing an olive green t-shirt with the Adidas logo on the front, blue jeans, and blue and white shoes. She was also carrying a large backpack that was sent to her by an unknown person. Apparently, that was the package that she was inquiring to her mom about. They still haven't been able to figure out who sent the backpack. Additionally, I've posted a lot of links on this case because there's a lot more information that I couldn't fit on the flyer. But when her parents went to the police department, her mom told them that her child was missing. And they informed her, well, she's 15. She's not a child. So she's a teenager. There's nothing we can do, which I thought was extremely crazy. So her mom at one point went to the FBI, got the FBI involved. They did do some investigating and still weren't able to locate her. And here we are over 3 years later, still hasn't been located. Trying to figure out who sent her the backpack. And there's also another circumstance where Janiah was staying with her dad at a certain time. And he walked into her room unannounced and she was on her iPad. and he saw an older white male on the iPad. And when he came in, she quickly shut it down. So no idea who the older white male was. So she was definitely talking to people out there on the internet. If you have any information regarding Jania's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Milwaukee, Wisconsin Police Department, District 5 at 414-935-7252 or 414-935-7405. Or you can call Milwaukee Crime Stoppers anonymously at 414-224-8477 and see what we can do to get Jania located and back home. So it's been over 3 years. I don't know if they've tried to trace her electronic footprint or not, meaning I know her dad at one point told the police that he bought her the iPad. He let him openly search it with no problem, gave him the access to it. Don't know if they ever actually searched it or not. At one point, a police officer from Wisconsin Police Department did come out, or Milwaukee Police Department did come out to the house. He spent like 5 minutes there, never went into the house. Didn't really ask many questions. The parents feel like it was more of a fake show of effort on their part to say, yeah, we went out there. Don't know if that's true or not. And of course, I know with missing persons cases, police don't really divulge a lot of what they're doing behind the scenes because they don't want to tip anybody off to who they may be looking at or anything like that. So I know parents sometimes don't feel like police are doing much or doing anything. But in this case, initially, when the police department say, well, she's 15, we can't do anything, it makes you really wonder what they're doing or what they're not doing. So let's see if we can help this along and help get her found. And my brother just chimed in with Malone. This is on Dana Bruce's case. Malone's bar has apparently been closed since 2018.
Really?
Wow. Didn't know that. Wow. Okay. Didn't know that.
Wow.
Interesting information.
Yeah.
And I know we've covered her a couple of times, but this is Katrina Mowry. Actually, Catherine Mowry goes by Katrina. It's an unsolved homicide from Dallas, Texas. On June 25th, 1985, the manager of the Casa 3 apartments at 200 South Marsalis Avenue. Some reports say she was a resident of the apartment complex, or I don't know if they're saying the manager is a resident or that Katrina may have been a resident. I'm not sure on it. Was walking by an alley when she noticed a strong odor coming from a 1978 Ford LTD parked nearby. She contacted the Southwest Station of the Dallas Police Department, and when officers arrived, they too smelled something coming from the vehicle's trunk. When they forced the trunk open, they discovered the decomposing nude body of a white female. She'd been wrapped in a stained white bed sheet. 2 belts were also located on the body. One was wrapped around her neck under the sheet. The second belt was wrapped around her neck over the sheet, possibly to secure the sheet to the body. The body was brought to the medical examiner, who through dental records identified the deceased as Katrina Mowry. Given the level of decomposition, they were unable to note any superficial marks or wounds on the body. However, they were able to conclude that Katrina had not been sexually assaulted prior to her death. Police initially tried to put Katrina's death down as a suicide, which I find very weird. Is how is she going to wrap her body in a sheet and then wrap her belt around herself, being in the sheet? However, it was later deemed to be an unexplained death. A toxicology report found no drugs or alcohol in her system. Essentially, I guess they tried to say it was an overdose, but can't do that if there's nothing in your system. It was estimated Katrina's death had occurred 2 days prior to her body being found on June 23rd, 1985. Two main theories in Katrina's death are: one, foul play. This is due to the fact she was found deceased in the trunk of a car across town from where she lived. As well, she was naked and her body had been wrapped in a bed sheet, of course, with the 2 belts, one around her neck under the sheet and one over. The second theory is that she died of an accidental overdose, and whoever she was with, likely Pee-wee, panicked and tried to hide her body. In an attempt to distance themselves from her death, the person or persons involved drove the body across Dallas and hid the car in an alley. However, toxicology report refutes this theory because there's nothing in her system. So, if you have any information regarding Katrina's death, please forward your information to the homicide unit at the Dallas Police Department at 214-671-3661 or its general investigations line at 214-671-3503. Tips can also be sent to Katrina Marshall, who is Catherine Katrina Mowry's niece, on Twitter, Katrina Marshall or Katrina Marsh 91. Also noted in her case as well was they had one other sister that was murdered, but a person was arrested and charged in that. And Katrina Marshall's mom was Catherine Mowry's other sister. And after they had found out that were under the assumption the Dallas Police Department had been investigating all this time, but 30 years after Katrina's death, they found out that wasn't the case, and that made Katrina Marshall's mom so distraught that she took her own life. So,
Sheesh.
yeah, it's been a very devastating case in this family, and so now Katrina Marshall, Catherine Katrina Mowry's niece, has picked up where everybody else has left off, and she's still fighting for justice for Catherine Katrina Mowry. Try to get justice for her. And Ellen, you're very welcome for sharing Dana's flyer. And my brother says it appears that a barber shop now occupies the former Malone's bar location mentioned in Dana's case. Went from a bar to a barber shop. Interesting. And this one we haven't covered for a good long while, so I figured I would get her in there. I do apologize for a lot of repeats, but I was, I've had a lot going on this week. My older daughter again tried to OD and end her own life on my heart meds again because I slacked a little and didn't get them locked up one night. And it all stemmed from a dream that she said she had, that she was walking in a wooded area and she came to a clearing and her family was laying there dead. She got depressed, snuck in my room while I was asleep, and got my meds and took 8 of each one. Messed her up pretty good, but she is okay. She's back home. She spent like 3 days in ICU, 2 days in behavioral health, and now she's home and doing okay. So anyway, back to cases here. This is Sunny Jones Ceramic, missing from Trenton, Nebraska since April 20th, 2019. 18 when she went missing. She'll now be 24. At least I think she'll still be 24. She might be 25. I got to double check on that. Actually, I think I had that pulled up on my screen. Let me see if it's still there. Well, I thought I had it. I guess I don't. Anyway, she has 5'8", 183 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. She left with a male acquaintance in a white 2004 Ford Explorer with the Iowa license plate number HGJ341, allegedly en route to an Omaha, Nebraska, 300 miles away. They planned to pick up his niece there. Sonny called her mother from a borrowed phone at 12:45 p.m. and said she was in the Holdridge, Nebraska area. She didn't indicate anything was wrong. Her family has never heard from her again. The acquaintance has told multiple stories about Sonny's disappearance. According to one of his accounts, they went to the Prairie Flower Casino in Carter Lake, Iowa between 9 p.m. and midnight. He went inside the casino. Sonny couldn't go in the casino because she was underage. He said when he returned to the vehicle, Sonny was gone. He stated he looked around the area for her but couldn't find her, so he simply left without informing police or anyone else that she was missing. Later, he changed the story to said Sonny disappeared when they stopped at an unspecified Omaha gas station to refuel. He said he went inside to pay for the gas, and when he came back, she was gone. As with the casino story, he left without informing anyone she was missing. Sonny has a tattoo of a tribal sun in red ink on her right ankle, tattoo of a feather with the word fly on her left shoulder. She has cuts on her arms. At the time of her disappearance, she had multiple scars on her body, including a rectangular scar on the back of her right shoulder, a small square scar in the center of her forehead, chickenpox scars on her face, scars on her shin, an ankle from a bike accident, and a scar on her left hand at the base of her thumb and forefinger. Sonny left wearing a black tank top and denim shorts. She was also carrying a hooded sweatshirt and a pair of blue jeans. If you have any information regarding Sonny's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Hitchcock County, Nebraska Sheriff's Office at 308-334-5444 or the FBI at 402-493-8688. And see what we can do to get Sonny located and back to where she needs to be. And I couldn't honestly remember if we covered her last show or not, so I put her on here again. Nyla Cologne missing from South Fulton, Georgia since July 27, 2025. She's 16, 5'2", 120 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She went missing around 12:30 in the morning on the 27th. Last seen in the area of Roosevelt Highway and Mallory Road in South Fulton. Nyla's mother says that Nyla has a brain tumor and a history of seizures. She's 16, 5'2", 120 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Last known to be wearing a blue Lilo and Stitch hoodie and black shoes. Man, I can't talk. If you have any information regarding Nyla's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call Detective E. Allen with the Criminal Investigations Division of the South Fulton, Georgia Police Department at 470-693-2707. Or you can email information to erica.allen cityofsouthfultonga.gov and see what we can do to help get Nyla located and back to where she needs to be.
Wow.
Yeah. So many missing. And this is Rosalind Rosie or Rose Rain Keith, missing from Clinton, Missouri since June 11th, 2025. 17 years old, 5'11", 180 pounds, black hair, blue eyes. She left around 2:30 in the morning. It's believed she may be with two adult males and an adult female. They could possibly be in a black 1999 Chrysler Sebring convertible or a silver Chevy Equinox, possibly 2010 or similar year. I believe that Rosalind may be in the Kansas City, Independence, Missouri area or possibly headed southeast. And she's 17, 5'11", weighs 180 pounds, black hair and blue eyes. Rosalind has a stud piercing in her left nostril. She has the above pictured tattoo on her outer left chest close to the shoulder. Appears to be a heart with like planet, star, moon, that kind of thing being held up by a hand. If you have any information regarding Rosalind's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Clinton, Missouri Police Department at 660-885-2679 or Missouri State Highway Patrol at 576-526-6178 or 866-362-6422. Or if you see her anywhere other than that, you can call your local law enforcement agency and let them know about it. She is in the national database, so we'll be able to track her case down easy enough. See what we can do to help find her and bring her home as well.
Yeah. This is like one more, it looks like.
Yep, probably.
Okay.
William Keys. He's missing from Kansas City, Missouri since July 26, 2025. 59 years old, 5'8", 140 pounds, gray hair, brown eyes. Last seen near the 45th Street and Park Avenue in Kansas City, Missouri. He uses a walker and a wheelchair to get around. And he's 59. He's 5'8", weighs 140 pounds, gray hair, brown eyes. Last known to be wearing a red flannel shirt and blue jeans. If you have any information regarding Williams' disappearance, you know of his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately. Or call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department's Missing Persons Unit at 816-234-5043 or 816-234-5111 or Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422 and see if we can't get William located and back to where he needs to be.
Not a bad show.
Nope, not at all.
Considering it was a crazy week, not a bad show.
Yeah. Oh, my brother says I stand corrected. Malone's used to be in a different spot around the time Dana went missing. Its location when she disappeared is in fact at another bar. They moved to another part of Sedalia later on. Oh, okay. Thank you for the correction, little brother. Yep, not a bad show. And thank you guys for bearing with me while I had to switch nights and everything. Wednesday was just a pretty busy day. But yeah, thank you for joining us to go over these cases and let's get them shared out there. We want to get these people found and these unsolved murders solved. And just wanted to say, thank you everybody for being here tonight. And Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together so we could go over these cases. And as I always pray, pray that these flyers reach the right ears and the right hearts, so they'll do the right thing and step up and speak up and get that information, then it'll bring somebody home or solve a unsolved homicide. Again, just keep everybody safe, healthy, and happy. Till we see each other again next week. God bless. Amen. And have a good night.
Amen.